Good afternoon, everyone. I have two of my messages of the day for you guys and the twin flame read on the table, the abbreviated one. And I did want to remind you that the energy around the Philadelphia experiment and Montauk is coming up tomorrow. The original dates were the 13th of August in 1943 and then the 12th of August in 1983. And tomorrow is August 11th, 2023, 40 years later. So if we could send a lot of love to Philadelphia and the Philadelphia area. The Philadelphia experiment started from the Philadelphia airport where the shipyard used to be, and then Montauk, all of the islands, Long Island and Plum Island as well in New York, but all of the states as well as Virginia, where the ship was supposed to be seen. But again, Virginia and the tri-state area of Philadelphia, New York, and New Jersey, if you could send a lot of love to those energies, all of this week, actually. And my great niece is due tomorrow, so it's a very exciting day. So let's get on with this and see what's going on for the energies today. Some beautiful energies coming up today. It is the 10th of the Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Wands. So a lot of energy going on there. Get up and go. So check out my Instagram messages. I posted a few this morning. They go with music, so make sure you listen to it with the music because that will definitely inspire you. And let's get going here. We'll take a few deep breaths. Take a deep breath. Another deep breath, sending love wherever you'd like to go. One more deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's beautiful here. It's a little dark and a little bit sprinkly, but the weather is nice. As always, pulling in Source Creator of all that is. A lot of Sophia energy. Sophia, 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 for the best and highest good of all those concerned. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. All right, so let's get right into it. We're going to roll the die, and then we'll get into the first messages of the day, and then the twin flame read on the table here. Let me move my bowl off first, too. All right, so for the twin flames today, put my heart over here. And a lot of hearts coming up as well. Feeling a little bit of stress here, you guys. So take a deep breath if you need to. For the twin flames, August 10th, 2023. Okay, so we have Mars going on here. So there is some aggression energy here. And Aries, as Aries is in the North Node. We have the 8th of August. And of course, Leo and Lionsgate energy. We're still in those energies here. The dance between the masculine and the feminine, the manifestation of dreams. And we also have Aries again here. Again, that rammy energy, but the lammy energy as well in the North Node. And Jupiter's been sitting next to Aries as well. I believe that's the right placement. Yeah, I mean, we have Leo and then, bookended by Aries. There's a lot of aggression there. And Aries, goes head first, right? They call them the ones on the front line because they just jump right in. So let's see how that plays out today. All right, so very interesting energy too about the vowels came up today, which we'll get into that section. Notice what your mouth does when you say A, E, I, O, and U. And it ends up to be AE, which is the ash energy of bright light, IOU. And that's kind of a play on words with Ea, because E is the reflection of AE, Adam and Eve, IOU. So a very cool message. I'm getting tingly all over from that. Okay. So this first message of the day starts out with the Fortune's Oracle here. Fortune's Oracle, and then the Journey of Love, and then the Energy deck, and then the Metatron deck there at the bottom. Okay, so for those of you not familiar, the left is the underlying energies, the bottom of the deck. I usually pull out 3 cards. Oh, I didn't notice there's a heart, and there's 2, wow, there's 2 hearts in this one. I didn't even notice that, look at that. I'm trying to get it focused in so you can see the cards. All right, let's try it again. So that's the, my screen's broken on this device, so bear with me. But that one is the Heart of God. I'm going to pull it up a little bit for you so you can see it better. Okay, the Heart of God and acceptance. So again, the left is the underlying energies. I usually pull 3 cards. Sometimes another will come out, whatever comes out organically. And then the other cards that want to still come out organically I use for numerology, as well as to finish the storyline on each deck. And also I use the numbers of the piles at the end of each deck for a number, which I'll give you now. These decks were pulled on the 8th, so this was Lionsgate when I did this read. 544 was the Fortune's Oracle, 5 is the Hierophant, 44 is the 4 of Cups, but also for me it's Hercules. The 4 of Cups is also about grounding, integrating, how to receive love. It was just 12:21 too as we started here. I believe we started the video too at 12:15, which is the Hanging Man and the Devil or the Shadow energy. But 12:15 came up in another way, so it's definitely significant energy there. And it's 12:23 now, being the King of Wands, and this year is the King of Wands. And we're at the Knight of Wands energy today, along with the 10th, which is the Wheel of Fortune, as we're doing the Fortune's Oracle. 545 was the Journey of Love. 45 is that 5 of Cups. The Energy deck, 46 with the 6 of Cups, the Loving Children, and Metatron, which is the 47, the 7 of Cups, which is lots of choices, but also synchronicities and heaven in your eyes, the 4 to 7 of the Heart to the Crown. The cards at the end of each deck came out to 1112 and 51111. So a lot of ones here. And if you listen to me regularly, you know I always talk about the 111 being the co-creation. It's the M of the 1v1. The parentheses with the 1, remember that the line is an arc, so they can be used interchangeably. But it ends up being the 111 of co-creation. And then the 25 comes up in the middle of these 2 sets of numbers, which is the day's energy today, the Knight of Wands. And then we have 4 ones, which in Gematria, the first entry is twin flames. So of course the 1111, and I've been bringing that up for the Olympics too. It's the 1 year, 1 month, 1 day, 1 hour from 777 this year to 888 next year, which is toward the end of the Olympics. I think closing ceremonies is actually 811. I'm not positive though. So the co-creation with the High Priestess or Divine Feminine and the energy of the Master of the Hidden House with the Twin Flame 1111 and the number 4 there, the 3 ones and the 4 ones, there's that 3 and 4 of alchemy, which are the 7 and the 12, 3 times 4, and then the 25 of the Knight of Wands in the middle. Co-creating the Q with the S of the sine wave. Remember, Q represents the womb and the sperm. or the egg and the sperm, with the S of sine wave and Sophia and the twin flames, the Empress High Priestess and the Hierophant Emperor, or alignment, justice, and the Hanging Man, the King of Swords, co-creation, or injustice of the Hanging Man, the Hierophant, twin flame, and the energy of Pi, the circle with the line down the middle, sharing the 25, which also looks like a perfume bottle or a potion bottle, right? Like the alchemist or the chemist, right? Or the pharmacist. The energy of Pi sharing that Knight of Wands potion, that magic potion with the twin flames. The energy, the Pies are coming up as the Aries energy here, interesting, and we keep getting the transformation of going from that Pi to the Pisces, which is the C's inside out each other, and then the vertical line turned horizontally, right? Having turned the key and pulled through each other inside out, from Pi to Pisces. Also from Gematria, the number 251, in between those two Pies, came up Catherine, basketball, Solas, I think it was S-O-L-A-S, eternal, past, Ramos, and repeat. Two guards on the basketball court, with Catherine in the middle, perhaps. So I know what's going on with basketball today, but that could be something. So at 6:01, and I'm getting, it's playing in the background too, because I posted that with one of my messages today from Serendipity, when you know, then you know. It's just running in the background here. So the 6:01 is the Lovers and the Magician with source energy between. I'm getting big chills from the energy of when you know. The underlying energy of the Cracker with number 7, 62 with the Choice, 27 of walking away, and the 47, again, of blessings and thanks. Remember, 27 is my Queen's Gambit energy. Again, the Q and the 7 is the Vesica Pisces, right? Because the first circle going into the second circle makes the Q tail there. And then the leftover of the second circle is then the boomerang energy of the 7. The 27 walking away, the 47 blessings and thanks, of the Chariot's release in the Queen's Gambit of synchronicities, the Gamma Key explosive to get them out of jail free, to walk away in water or emotional energy of Pi C's. Remember, Pi is 2 C's with a line down the middle. The shared C's of 2 Pi, which is also 3.14, 6.28. The push and pull, the 6 and the 2.8 is the Lovers and the twin flames. The push and the pull of the portal and the tunnel in suspended animation, with options, blessings, and heaven in yours or their eyes, in the vortex of 2 waves that take you down in the sand, smushing your face, leaving you with a load in your pants. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. I'm sure most of you have. And leaving a spread on the table. But if you go there, you'll be noticed. So it's this energy of, you know, like a little kid when you've been, a 10-foot wave comes to the beach and just takes you down and grinds your face into the sand, and then you end up with sand in your pants, you know, a big load in your pants. But if you have that big load in your pants and there's a big spread on the table, you're not going to want to go up to that big spread because you're embarrassed because you have a load of sand in your pants. Or having to walk away from the best thing ever. Explosive situation that could trap you or set you free. And is that variety a blessing or curse or temptation that's not good for you? At 6:11 is the Lovers and the alignment of justice, truth, and balance, the 33 of the Unicorn, the 6 of the Chariot, the 3 of Beware, and the 7 of Cracker. The Christed Horn and their shadow, of black and white stallions or stall lions, as in Lionsgate, in the Colosseum, the one scene, the one set scene, it's coming up in a set too, right? So the one set of the Christed Horn and their shadow of black and white stallions, one set is seen and one set is hidden. As chariots of fire and grandiose, be careful who you trust at this time, as only Mother Nature knows. When you know, then you know. the illusion of green and its many shades of health and illness, of olive oil and gangrene, as a gang of lions, as in the ganglions, or pack, whether 4-pack or 6-pack, with the real unicorns. Will the real unicorns please stand up? And is the Empress a shapeshifter? 33/6 is the Christ vibration, and that mother energy of sacrifice, and the 3 and the 7 of the mother's 3 boomerangs. Boo, me rang, or boom, rang, or ran a half marathon, ran sides, or ran to oil, anoint, or just runny oil. And as the chariot passes by, is there a lizard laying in wait for just the right moment? And surprise! Or perhaps you get jumped. Perhaps your battery died. Or doing a 2x2 test run for the 72x2's Top Gun. As the skeleton key is one for all, fits all holes, that all, AWL, the hole maker, has done. Creating holes to fill, my will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And it's interesting here that Top Gun came up, which I didn't notice, because last night I had gotten the message, I salute you, which reminds me of Megan Rose. So I went on to Megan Rose's video, I think it was from 8 days ago or something, to see if there was anything significant for me there. And she actually talked, Valnek said the only movie that he liked, that she watched, was Top Gun. It was really funny. So it's really funny that's coming up here. So again, doing a 2x2 test run for the 72x2's Top Gun. The skeleton key is one for all. It fits all holes, that all has done. Creating holes to fill, my will be done on earth as it is in heaven. If there are no holes to fill, what are we doing here? Through the ring of fire of Lionsgate at 626 of the Lovers, the spiral, and the 26 of the Page of Wands, which is that young inspiring energy or inspired energy, the Q of conception, and the 6 of the spiral, and the Leo of O, the human embodiment of Source, Leo, the human, gay, moral man. Or is that Christ? And remember, gay means happy as well. Father 8, it also means thank God. So that's the gate. So Lion's Gate is, Lion is Leo, with the N at the end, which is, N for me is short for JC. The lowercase n, the capital N is more of Christ energy for me. But the human, gay, moral man, or Christ. The gate is Father 8, and thank God. We all know you must feed the beast before playtime if you want to survive. Leo's roar is not something to be tampered with, but so generous otherwise. Fuel for the fire, just under the wire. And I wrote that down this morning, the 11th hour, because 59 kept coming up every hour. 9:59, 10:59, 11:59 all came up in a row. And it's 12:33 on the clock, which is literally Jesus hanging on the cross. So fuel for the fire, just under the wire, and the fuel for the fire is the wood from the cross. We've been burning the cross and the crown. Feed yourself before feeding someone else. Food for thought, because food won't ease your mind if you're rethinking, or if you're thinking of it all the time. No time like the present. No, really. Source me, or time, T-I-M-E. And Sophia's pace, space. For the gift of the moment, at 6:34, the Lovers' Arrows of Love. The moment is the mo, the M-O, and the intent. Hold on to Father's finger, number 4, which is that reference of the lambda leap, lambda father leap. If you pull on that finger, you may get a fart. If you push, they may start up. But if you just stay in that holding pattern, you transition to gold. Go alls. You hole makers, you. As you just made a hole in your hand for Father to fill. Thy will be done. You may not always see it with your eyes, but no hole is left empty, no stone unturned on the rolling stone hills, where the hills are alive with the sound of music, and the hills have the eyes of Laura Mars, the muse of the inner child and the shadow, and the aura of Mars. Mars is Ma and RS, which means awakened, the awakened mother. You woke her up from her nap. Heaven help us, as he a venerable one. Heaven is he a venerable one, as Venus is also venerable us. Ones out there to protect our space with no time on their hands, no blood in their space, as their relatives moved yonder through the space-time continuum to be continued, the Holy Grail and the mighty mountain. Her altar, his island, as the mountain must stretch to reach her altar. He must show what he is willing to offer, willing to transcend all time and space, to be with her, you too. If she is to kiss his dirty feet and allow him her hole to fill, and after 40 days and nights, parting of the seas and all that, she at least should let him fill her cup and his communion or communion. At 651, which is the King of Swords, 51/6, and the Lovers. The 28 of the snake, the hydra entwined, the watery snakes do-si-do, without a race to get the crown. As they arrive together around the world in AD days, 2023, which equals 4, the energy of, it doesn't, obviously 2023 doesn't equal 4. It has to do with being divided by 4 and leap years, right? Because we have 2023 years here. So it came up to being the 2023 years came out to 739,266 days. And then without the end of the year coming up yet, it came up to 739,121. The Chariot, the Knight of Cups, and 1-to-1 times. The 2 of the Angel, the 9 of the Eagle. From the snake to the angel to the eagle, the Kundalini rising, and the angel wings open and rise as the eagle soars, the twin flames vertical and horizontal, the High Priestess and the Hermit, as flowers blossom and the phoenix rises. Justice for the Knight of Wands, which is the energy today, very phallic energy there, with blooming flowers and rising dragons turned on at 7:02, which is the Chariot and the High Priestess, or Divine Feminine, or Higher Self. At 7:03 then is the space-time to consummate, consume and mate, or co-NSU, which is water, and MM8. And 8 is H, so I looked up MMH, which is monomethyl, did I put a parenthesis there? Hydrazine. So now, monomethyl hydrazine, which is CH3, NH, and then NH2, used as fuel in bipropellant rocket engines, all right? And that just happened to come up from consummate, which is co-NSU, which is water. So co-emotions of MM8, which is the bipropellant rocket engines, again referencing the propellers going both ways at the same time. Very interesting. So at 7:10, which is the Chariot and the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, which today is the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, the underlying energy of the 44 of Rings of Time, the 36 of Cosmic Butterfly, and the 3 of the Burning Hero, 45 of the Hidden Beauty, and 62 is the Choice. And a lot came up here towards the end of the page about the Titans and Olympus, with Uranus and Gaia being at the top, right, of Earth, Mother Gaia, and then Uranus, Sky, whose children were supposed to be Oceanus and Lepidus plus the other 10, including Kronos, but some believe that actually Oceanus and Lepidus were actually the parents of the other children, and therefore Atlas. Well, they are the parents of Atlas for sure, but also could be the parents of his uncles, who he thought they were uncles. So either which way, from Kronos then comes Zeus, and of course there's the wound of Zeus having killed Kronos, and Kronos having killed, or castrated anyway, Uranus. And notice the urine of Uranus and the anus, so there's that thing about transmuting stuff through the body. So Hercules and Thoth came up here. Remember, Thoth is Hermes energy and the energy of to the nth degree, and to the nth degree, like Aries here with the 8 in the middle here and the O of the human embodiment of Source here. And here would then be the twins in the pod, again with the 2 energies as the gate holders there. So, and Thoth and Hermes are referenced as Mercury as well, which then brings in Gemini and Virgo energies at the gate as well. So Hercules and Thoth, the rolling stone on the throne, the path of one, with rings of time and notes in spaces, and Atlas cosmic butterfly with the weight of the world, after the lambda or lambda father word. Okay, so that's taking the L out of the world for the lambda word. As her harvest was just rolling by on the high road of one, when she noticed Atlas may be in need of some assist, as he was burned out, and so they stopped, dropped, and rolled, to put the flames out and hit the presses, to squeeze the energy, that last negative feeling out, so that he wouldn't be bloated after, like a memory wipe. Because he laid down his world for her, she gave up her wheelchair for the world, the rolling stone's throne, as they come out even, the burning hero and the hidden beauty, the hidden bow of gratitude, and get out of jail free card, the choice to stay hidden or burn into the light. You see, Hercules, aka Athena, was then human after all, aging before Atlas's eyes. He just had to stop the world to be with you. As Hercules is he, RQU, which is the head, and LES, which is the harmed, the forest, the course, and the lesson. But the headless horseman was also coming up as Hercules, right? Because she is in disguise. She's Athena disguised as Hercules, always wanting to have been, you know, her father's dream, right, warrior, as the man as opposed to the woman. But also Hercules was then half human. So he had the head ambush, the hideaway. He to spy as the head, to peep, pry, and stare, Google eye, and to read, cram schooling in, or rein in, be deceptive or tail. The forest, his coffin after all, is the cross of wood, and tired, lazy, and fed up, the lace with holes, and lease to profit and gain, well-being at least. So he is she, and she is he, and he is in she, as Athena Hercules, who harmonized them, as Lepidus and Oceanid Asia had Atlas and Athena, as Atlas and Athena, and again Athena was Zeus's child. Atlas and Athena is that AA energy of Atlas and Athena, which means alive, mother, meat, and happiness, peace of mind, name, and the fabric of life. Once Zeus was out of the way, and Hera's jealousy of Athena, aka Hercules, was out of the way, then they could finally be together, both understanding what it takes to be hero, her humanity. As Atlas had a very feminine side, aside from all the lifting, Athena took on Hercules to show him that she could keep up with him as Atlas, and he lay down his world to show her his beauty as his feminine side. The Atlas to avenge his uncle Kronos' death, and then also Uranus' death as well by Kronos, or castration, but Kronos' death by Zeus and the Olympians, as Zeus's own favorite Athena would take Atlas out of the sky and ground him. And remember, Metis is Athena's mother, not Hera. And she was taken out because Zeus was worried about the children, coming back and killing him and betraying him. So the 52 of the Queen of Swords and the Ancient Ones, as we talk about the Titans and the Olympians, and the 9 of the Heart of God, the Queen of Swords and the Hermit, and receiving the light, source direct. As then Friends with Benefits came up there, as far as the movies that came up, and at 8:28 is the Dance of the Page of Wands, of perhaps some excitement there, with the 55 of the Ace of Swords, Excalibur, and the acceptance of the fairy tale in the enchanted forest. And actually, Forrest Gump came up today. Lady Liberty and Ellis Island, and the truth of being beckoned in. Oh, welcomed. Okay, I couldn't read what I wrote. The truth of being welcomed in, right? So Ellis Island and Lady Liberty. It's simple. The mouse, or perhaps its piglet, cannot live on a grass blade alone. Perhaps a bird flying by, or a flash mob would be nice. Remember, I Heart New York, and I Heart New York is I digamma, or 2 gamma waves, is the heart. The Christ at the Y in the road of 0 Point Field, I Love New York, where flower and phoenix reside, of justice and umph. Come on, baby, light my fire. At 8:40, which is the Dance of the Page of Cups, and the underlying energy back to the 52 of the Queen of Swords, Goddess of the Moon. So romantic, holding spheres up for Atlas, as the 25, which it is today, the Knight of Wands, the deceit of trying to get her to walk away. If you just play your cards right, you and me, baby. After the 16 of the Tower of Liberty at 10:11, which is today's the 10th, tomorrow's the 11th, and perhaps the 12-2 here. And don't forget, we have the 16 energy of the Tower, as I talked about the Philadelphia experiment and Montauk. The energy's coming up now, like it is now. Tomorrow, the next day, is, I initially gave you the 12th to the 15th, but literally this whole month has that energy there. With patience and a whole world apart, a sudden gift as Lady Liberty waits for his ship to come in, to be back in the atmosphere. He contemplating Earth while she holds it up. And here the different kind of waves were coming up, the T waves, which are transverse waves. And then walking the plank of the L waves, the longitudinal pressure, and the subscript P, which is also rho, which came up the other day, and the chi-rho energy of the Christos. The wave-particle duality and seismic P waves from earthquakes and explosions and longitudinal interference of folding in upon oneself, of patience and liberty, and the gift of the world, the moon to earth, as Atlantis Atlas to liberty, and the Knight of Wands 25, who then reflects the 52 of Lady Liberty, who thinks he can outsmart her with his deceptive waves of persuasion, but she ends up selling him the Brooklyn Bridge. And that's funny too, because BB comes up again, and Netanyahu came up this week as well. The Queen's Gambit, her pawn, perhaps her daughter, and don't mess with Mother Nature. And God help you if you mess with her daughter, And again, Metis or Metis comes up here regarding Metis versus Heros or Hera. So there's mixed heritage here, right? So Athena is not, she's a half sibling with her other siblings from Hera, or mixed heritage of both European and indigenous here from Metis, or maybe she had street smarts. She may have been considered a half-breed, but apparently this marriage was for love. The 32 of the door to spirit, the 37 of the third chakra, Archangel Chamuel, and perhaps clearing the place out with 3 keys and confidence of airing out dirty laundry and unconditional love. The 34 of the energetic exchange and the arrows of love, of personal healing and happiness, bringing the outside in and the inside out, with the arrows of love, walking away and within, the angel of balance, opening windows and new doors of purification, and the Sphinx with fire in their belly, right? That inspiration, the Knight of Wands today. At 9:23 is the Hermit and the King of Wands. The 4 of letting go, the 41 as above so below, the 3 of creation, the 9 of action, the 47 of blessings, where it's time for release as above so below, the pink willows, as the world comes to life, the Emperor and the Empress, and the Holy Grail between them. So again, the pillars with the Holy Grail between, the energy of the 8, the 698 pod, and Lion's Gate, of course. Perhaps a daughter or a new cell. As I told you, my great aunt is due tomorrow. The Holy Grail is the hole of the Y in the road on God's rail. The lambda leap, the vertical leap, and soaring eagle horizontally as the Hermit number 9 takes action, running with the shadow of Big Bird, as Ia's glee, the 39 of the Knight of Cups, right? Those who can love, as the Emperor and the Knight of Cups, blessings and thanks, and synchronicities in heaven in their eyes, the 4 to 7 heart to crown of thanksgiving every day. And that's weird. When I wrote down the movie Friends with Benefits, it was at 8/11, which is tomorrow again. And again, the day it's supposed to be connected to the Philadelphia experiment and Montauk. It was interesting, too, because the different dates that came up in Philadelphia experiment and Montauk, besides 4383 and now, was 1927 and then 2137, I think it was. I'll tell you when I get there. But the 36 of the inner child comes up here. The 36 is the Atlas energy, the 10 of Wands. But the inner child here of the 34 and the ancestors, the 19 of the fire dragon's strength. At 9:28, which is the Hermit and the 2 of Wands of choice of path, or the twin flames. With lots of options for the inner child, with the weight of the world, hear and know me. As the ancestors leap in with appreciation and healing, in the energetic exchange, the EE of the Rolling Stone, and the arrows of love, of mother and child or inner self. Perhaps a walk or a jog, or perhaps a job with a variety of fruits and veggies and gratitude. And then perhaps having a chat with your inner child. The ancestors will then come in a more appreciative way. So again, they're guiding you to do some exercise first, right? Take a walk or a jog, and then eat really good food, a variety of fruits and veggies with gratitude. Again, kind of blessing your food, becoming one with it. And then having a chat with your inner child before connecting or trying to connect with your guides or your ancestors, or if you want to channel something or some being. This is what they're telling you to do. The dragon of the pyramid, or the fire in their belly of the sun, that sun with the fire in their belly, observing what's said and done in order to fuel the fire with Pyra. The 11 and 6 is the wake-up call to align and resonate to love, that love vibration. The aqua rose gold mother's heart, spiraling in upon itself while hearing the call of the wild, or perhaps that's the inner child. The 45 and 26 of the old 45s at the end of the pier, walking the plank without flexibility. And remember, the plank has to do with quantum physics, and again that folding in upon yourself energy. So I think it's Max Planck is the person, the scientist. So walking the plank without flexibility, you are held in the sunset with compassion. As the little life bulb with phased arrays, as in the child in the womb that you are, reflecting the sun's rays. And in the pink of self-love and nurture, the page of wands is inspiring or inspired by the scalped Magdalene, the sweet cakes, as the cosmos mirrors you in a dodeca wake-up call of the divine feminine reflection, time out in the purple moon, with sudden cup of gold, and the Holy Grail, portal and tunnel to infinitum, or through the heart. The High Priestess in the tower and the Lady of the Lake, or Pisces and Scorpio with spontaneous heart healing, or a sudden epiphany about romantic love, of royalty. Periwinkle comes up here, and gold, as periwinkle is per I win key to the Ancient One, by walking away within into the Om, the void, for retreat, rest, and pause. The 30 of the union with the crown on top, right? The ark and the crown. The 948 is the Hermit and the 8 of Cups. Of the 14 and 15, which is the angel and the devil. Of the boundaries and the clarity that shadow brings. The key to a higher love and showering in diamond light on the shadow within. From the pearly gates to the golden gates, via Route 33 bridge of the dimensional gateway. An open invitation to the rainbow bridge at 950 of the Hermit, and again the heart of God, and the 10 of Cups of the complete emotional fulfillment, or that highest emotional fulfillment of the family. So then we have about the AEIOU. I just want to make sure I gave you the information that came up there. So again, AE is the ash symbol. And ash and Pleiadian, according to Elena Denon, is bright light. She has that listed in her book. And then the IOU, your mouth shape is coming up here, not so much the letter. So the I comes up as the energy of an oval, whereas the O, of course, is the full circle. And then the U is the dot in the middle. It's the kiss. Okay? So it's the ash and then IOU, hey, AE, and notice when you say E, your eyebrows raise and you kind of smile a little bit. I am, O, U and X, as in a kiss, where AE is also Adam and Eve, I owe you, from Ea, I, human holy grail, I am a stargate. The A of the rocket, one. The E is the one equal and congruent to the rocket taking off. And the word elliptic, ILIPTIK, came up, which means at you too. But we were looking at elliptic, which is without the NI, which is a show of power. The elliptical, remember, is to leave out or omit. It's the oval and is condensed. Again, the oval shows the circle or sphere pushed down or under pressure. So again, these are the energies, right, of the, this is how it comes out right here. Let me just see if I can get that a little clearer than that. Okay, so you have the AE of the ash, and then the oval, the circle, and the dot in the middle, which you see looks like Saturn with the dot in the middle, or is that an I? Okay, which also can reference the core of the earth, or the root of the earth on its path. Okay, so the AE ash and the IOU and the bow on top, which is also the ash, it's like the bow on top of the present, the icing on the cake, the bright light, where Ea's AE ash is Earth's path or the core of Saturn, and again Kronos and Uranus coming up again. The key to love, the magnetic mountain, and again that energy of Meru, at the North Pole, which actually Jen, Cosmic Gypsy, brought up in her meditation on the 8th. The skeletal key to stars and dreams and the mountain of 5D magnetic alignment here. And it also 7 to 12 was coming up as the 7 also can be converted to the definition of pi. So the gamma ray, G-A-M-A, which is the old way of writing gamma, it's like a 7 as opposed to forward like an F. But the 7 to 12 can come up as the symbol for pi, and the 12 is Pisces. So again, that energy of 7 to 12 being in shared space and then turning the key while flipping inside out while going through each other and then tied with a cord. It's that twin flame process, 7 to 12, which is the key to the 1-2 punch of the 12, the 1 of the masculine, the 2 of the feminine. So Uranus, they feel, comes from the definition rainmaker and son and husband to Gaia. Or is it to urinate? That's literally one of the definitions of Uranus, as urine, urine. But again, of course, anus is in there too. So it's all about the pee and the poop, the transmutation of the body. Earth and Gaia came into existence after chaos of the void, and then came Uranus, the Curia, or the mountains, and the Pontus of the sea, and then they mated and had the Titans. Oceanus is the oldest, and Kronos was the youngest of 12. When Kronos castrated Uranus, the blood spilt then produced the Furies and the giants. And his penis cast into the sea created foam and then Aphrodite. Or was she actually Zeus? Or was she Zeus's? So here it's coming out as, so some believe that Aphrodite came from this, or was actually Aphrodite Zeus's, out of his head, all the crazy stories of the birthing there. So perhaps Uranus and Gaia were only parents of Oceania and Tethys, and they were then the parents of Cronus and Rhea, plus the 8 others. Romans say that Uranus's counterpart was Calculus, or the sky, the child of ether and Dies, D-I-E-S, which is day, and Colus and Dies war, or D's were parents of Mercury, or Hermes. Another says that Ether and Dies, or D's, were also parents of Terra, Earth, and Mar, or the sea. Uranus hated the children, those Cyclops and such, and the 100-handers, and hid them away inside of Gaia. So she got really pissed off and urged her children to punish him with a sickle. But Kronos, the youngest, was the only one willing to do it and did go ahead and castrate him. So Uranus, the sky, is the overarching dome or roof of bronze, held in place or turned on their axis by Atlas. In the Hurrian religion, Anu is the sky god, or Uranus, and Cumarbis bit off his testicles. Or in Varuna, the supreme keeper of order, who became the god of the oceans and the rivers, or the qualities of Mitra, the god of the falling rain. Mars is Ares, and Venus is Aphrodite in Greek, and Mercury is Hermes, were the children of Jupiter and Zeus, the son of Saturn, and Kronos, the son of Uranus. So again, there's this big lineage history lesson there coming up regarding them. And you notice that the North Pole, because there's a difference between the actual North Pole and the magnetic North Pole, and again that the planet has turned on its axis, And it is turning, it's turned about 7 degrees in 30 years. And then the ships around Ganymede was coming up at 144 when I was noting this energy here. So that energy of the pillars is also coming up as the ships around Ganymede and Jupiter that are keeping an eye on things. And then also I was guided to not just the winter triangle, which is Sirius, Betelgeuse, and Procyon, but the hexagon energy that includes Pollux from Gemini and Capella and Aldebaran. Bellatrix and Betelgeuse are inside the hexagon there. But Regal is also part of the hexagon, the 6 points. So Capella, Aldebaran, Rigel, sorry, not Regal, but Rigel, Sirius, Procyon, and Pollux. And then the moon is being flanked here by Capella and Aldebaran. And that was yesterday. So the next message here okay, so here it is with the Fortune's Oracle at the top, and then my combined Lenormand, Reverie, and Kipper decks, then the Wild Unknown guidebook, and then the Rider-Waite, as you see how many cards came out down below. And this one was done at 4:56. Yeah. That was done at 4:56, the Fortune's Oracle, then 58, the Four of Swords, which is the Lenormand Kipper deck, 59, which is that 11th hour energy that I talked about today of the Wild Unknown, and then at 5 o'clock was the Rider-Waite, that 00 energy backing up the 5 of the Hierophant, which is freedom and change and expansion, but also the Master of the Hidden House, and also societal norms in another sense as well, traditional values. So the piles at the end of these decks were 2-1-2-2 and then 7-1-4-6-3-7. So 2-7 came up somewhat in the middle, as well as on the ends 2 and 7, which again is that Queen's Gambit energy of the Vesica Pisces, which is basically 2 pies pushed together. And then the line in the middle becomes the arc of the other circle. So you see how it all fits together. 714 came up here, which is Anaheim's. It's California area code, but mostly Anaheim. The energy of the world free to co-create as the 6 of Cups, loving children, and the King of Cups of unconditional love, the 3 keys, and unconditional love. At 212 also came up again, which is New York, is Manhattan area code, with the 27, 14, 6, and 37. The Queen's Gambit, the Vesica Pisces, the 2 pi coming together, the angelic realms, the higher love and the divine lovers, and the 3 keys of unconditional love. The Q of the Queen and the Hanging Man. The Q is the conception as well. The Q and the pi, which is the magic. It's coming up as 2 pi, so again, a pi on either side, with the magic 6 of Cups soaring between them. Right, so the inner children, which represents the 2 peas in the pod, okay, the twin flames, where the Q becomes the pi, right? So Q is conception, so having been born, and then finding balance is pi, then becomes the Pisces, which is flipping yourself inside out and turning the key to be locked in place with the cord, which then leads to the infinity. The divine feminine masculine in the Fool's Leap, to boo, mirang, or boomerang. With patience and balance, the lovers soar to complete me with the other side of the heart. The underlying energy of the 2 of the angel, the 32 of the 8 of Cups, the lion, which is usually the 8, sometimes it's the 11, and then the 8 of Cups reversed again. So we had 2 8 of Cups here. Your wings are large at the mid-moon, which is now, as we go into the New moon is the 16th, I believe. Your wings are large at the mid-moon here, which was exactly like mid-moon on the 8th, to canopy your journey towards the new moon, August 16th, which is 5:38 a.m. Eastern Time. Send love, again, like I said before, to Philadelphia, the New York Exchange, the Philadelphia Airport, the islands, Long Island, Montauk, Plum Island, as well as Virginia. And again, basically just New York and the tri-state area and Virginia. The presidential bunker, remember, is also Raven Rock, which is in Pennsylvania on the border of Maryland, just southwest of Philadelphia as well. I love, or I heart New York and the city of brotherly and sisterly love, as I reflect Pi, the Christ 0 point, and see the gratitude of brothers and sisters and love, the lambda human creation of one equal and congruent to each other. So being each other and yet being sovereign of each other as well at the same time. So the energy of love without the E on the end means to vomit. So it's like spitting back what you've been fed. It's a promise, it's a chase, the pursuit, the vacation, to turn around, or a round C. Now notice the C is an incomplete O, and the energy of love is to regurgitate what you take in, with one equal and congruent to the other, and it comes up as this, right? The incomplete C, becoming the circle, is filled in and completed by the E, which equals one equal and congruent to the other, which looks like a key. It looks like a nub, actually, right, for your car. And again, it's coming up as you complete me, love, L-O-V and E. So Philadelphia to Norfolk, Virginia, is in Virginia, where the USS Eldridge went. That was, the dates are different depending on the article you read, and this first one was from the government, so I knew they weren't going to give us much information and basically deny that it was true, which they did. They said they just gave you a list of where the Eldridge was posted, you know, to prove that it hadn't moved anywhere, right? But that didn't really mean anything, because it can be in an instant, right? That doesn't have to reflect any time. So the New York Navy Yard was where they said it was posted in December of 43, but that was way after the fact anyway. In New York and Long Island Sound, it was there, and then 9/16 till 9/16, and then Bermuda. But it wasn't even commissioned until the 27th of August, all right? From 9/18, it was in Bermuda through October 15th, and then 10/18 to 11/1, it was in New York. And again, it was considered called Project Rainbow. It was also the Rome to Berlin to Tokyo axis, which referenced Rainbow V, which was the plan in effect for Pearl Harbor, 12/7/41, of the bombing of Pearl Harbor. And of course, in history, it was history.navy.mil, which of course they said there's no such known ability to do this. The boomerang experiment also came up, which was from 97 to 98, weather balloons, or balloons they sent up to test on the universe being flat, and they proved that the universe is close to flat. The geometry of the universe is flat, supporting the supernova evidence for the existence of dark energy. Again, this references a multidimensional viewpoint of things, so don't get wrapped up in your 3D perspective of flat and not flat. So, but the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard also came up on Wikipedia here, 1943 and October. Jessup, the one involved with this, committed suicide in Florida, April 30th, 59. There's 59 again, so confirming that he's supposed to be brought up here. In 1979, Charles Berlite, he published the Philadelphia experiment, so you can look that up, the lost unified field, and the theories by Einstein and government cover-ups there. The Navy technician, Thomas Townsend Brown, and talking about force fields, the force fields of Townsend Brown as well. I'm sorry, I have to open the door for my daughter. Give me 1 second. So anyway, just talking about the details of the Philadelphia experiment in Montauk. Paul LaViolette's 2008 book of the secrets of anti-gravity propulsion and involvement of Townsend Brown. Testing began the summer of 1943, rendered nearly invisible, and apparently reported a greenish fog, where the crew complained of severe nausea afterwards, and some embedded in ship's structure, and that someone went quote-unquote bananas afterwards. Another version gave October 28, 43, that it was transported to Norfolk, and in view of men aboard the SS Andrew, Furuseth, where the ship vanished and reappeared. So they said that they actually saw this happen. The USS Eldridge wasn't even commissioned until August 27, 43, and remained in port in September 43. So Jessup's annotations looked to be from 3 different authors. So they thought that some of his notes were actually combined with extraterrestrials he'd been communicating with. And then Edward was from USS Engstrom, was dry docked next to the Eldridge. Both had classified devices on board because they were degaussing the ships. The inland canals allowed a trip from Norfolk to Philadelphia within a few hours, 2 hours, which really doesn't mean anything anyway. But Eldridge went to Greece in 1951, the actual ship, and was sold for scrap in the 90s. If you believe that, I don't know. So from BIELEK.com, which is the alter ego, and the Montauk project there, the Philadelphia experiment, where Montauk was, the date for Montauk was 8/12/83, the Philadelphia experiment 8/13/43, and then we're at 8/11/2023 tomorrow. So Ed and Duncan Cameron apparently 8/13/43 jump off the Eldridge and land in 2137. Ed is regressed into Al Bielek, or Bielek, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, who was apparently born in 1927, which is the year my father was born. Ed and Duncan went to Montauk in 1983 after 6 weeks in 2037, where they had to recover from radiation burns apparently. Dr. John Van Neumann greets the two to get them to go back to the Eldridge 1943 to destroy the control equipment and shut the experiment down. AI is recruited, or Al rather, is recruited to Montauk. He retains that cover of his regular job as an electronic contractor. He participated in mind control experiments there with Montauk's Boys program. And in 1988, his memories returned, 1987 forward, and 1987 is the harmonic convergence. 2000 is Al Bielek was speaking publicly about his involvement in Montauk and the Philadelphia experiment. So they were back together in 1983. He returns to get Duncan and then went back to 83 together in Camp Hero. And again, this is from Wikipedia, Montauk experiment. Ed remembers being a tour guide and floating cities with anti-gravity and the computer programs that were called wing makers. And wings were coming up all over the cards this day. There was the first card out, the wing makers, so it was very significant. Remember that term, wing makers, who explained their agenda to him. So Ed was born 1916, but Al, his alter ego, was born 1927 and was at a walk-in. And again, 27 is the year my dad was born. Is regressed, it's quoted as the regressed essence of Ed. And he passed away October 2011. So the first card here was the angel wings. And here's the energy of 2023, but also 2032 coming up regarding Lionsgate. So that year may be very significant here. The 8 of Cups and the 32 of the Moon And again, the lion with the 8 of Cups reversed, again, that uncomfortable energy of uncomfortable emotions, of not being able to walk away from something. The 2 to 32 and the 8 to 48 were the cards that came up here. The twin flame journey within to the center of the earth. Lionsgate and uncomfortable energies of August 13th, 2023, but perhaps that's the 11th since it was 8/13/23, 8/12/83, and perhaps it's 8/11 this year, which the 13th adds up to 28, and then tomorrow will be the 26th of the Page of Wands. At 6:27 is the Lovers and the Ace of Wands, again the Queen's Gambit and the spiraling, the Vesica Pisces. The proposal of Vesica Pisces, of the two pies coming together, that then become the Pisces of inside out each other with the key turned and then locked in as the cord. The Queen's Gambit of the Vesica Pisces, the 9 of the Eagle, the 2 of the Angel, the EA Glee of the Eagle, and one who gets the Eagle, the angel wings, collide. The EA Glee and the one who, the EA Glee and the one who gets the eagle, right? So the EA Glee is the eagle, along with the one who gets them. The angel wings collide, soaring over the mountain ranges or soaring out of range with vertical angels or clouds, as Michelangelo comes up here with Eagle Rock as well. And so Raven Rock is coming up, which is the presidential underground city, basically, at the bottom of Pennsylvania. And then Eagle Rock is another mountain in Pennsylvania, where they had built up homes there and a ski slope there. So Michelangelo comes up here as obviously Archangel Michael's coming in, and Eagle Rock. And it's reminding me of the Muppets Eagle there, of the Hermit and the Higher Self, where the Hermit and Higher Self comes up as her, and then Mit Hig, herself, which ends up being her desire or wish of God, the high time to ripen, to become soft and pacified. Her mid, I, God, self, herself, the mitosis, the condition of mit, I, mid, in the middle, exchange. Her, I push into, the watery exchange, the middle high ground. Her, I am, higher self. And that was all coming from the Hermit and the Higher Self. So the wing makers and Hermit Hig herself, Hermit and Higher Self, the wing makers, right? The one who goes within to the heart to connect with source energy, and their higher self as one, the wing makers. So I guess you're being called the wing makers. Her due date, the exchange in the middle, the ripening, the softening, that it's time, as my great niece is due tomorrow. The High Priestess of Pisces and Virgo through Cancer and Leo, which is uncomfortable for the sweetheart and the lion's heart. Again, folding in upon oneself and through oneself at the same time, kind of energy of the sweetheart and the lion's heart. The proposal to merge, 2792, as the eagle and the angle, and again, EA coming up here again. The eagle and the angle, or the angel, which is Ea, and Anne, who gel. And Anne comes up in a significant way as well. The romantic journey of discomfort that you can check in anytime you like, but you can never leave. The 30 of the sun, an enormous growth ahead for you. The 23 of the owl, and the King of Wands, wise period of transition, as the King of Wands brings the 6 of the lovers, sparkling chariot with the 4 unicorns. Again, the fortnight comes up here as the 4th night, where the H and the K are silent. The fortnight and the 4th night, or the HK, which is the horsepower. The 4th night is the charm, the Prince Charming. in the union of the angel and the wise son, King of Wands, armed with chariot to carry them home. The 20 and the 1 of marriage and abundance, of our glass ceilings, so to speak, entwined with one for all and all for one abundance, a root dance where all roads lead home. In the middle, the 34 and 7 of unity cracker, and the energetic exchange, EE, or hours of love, of the chariots of fire, one in gratitude of cracking her open, a decision of all mother and father's children, to be in energetic exchange, weaving in the middle, the key sweet spot, airing a bit left at just the right angle, and the 31 of thorns, the 5 of celebrations, a group celebration, having worn the thorny crown as master of the hidden house, with gift of enlightenment, the JC of the toroidal field on an angle, lightening up their intention, the gift of light with the bow or the ash or the bright light on top, the bridge, the arc, the leap, the icing on the cake, which is the cake is CA and KE, which is the K key, the energy K key, of N-G key, which is the JC. When you write JC, it's literally the toroidal field, the center of the torus, on an angle with direction. And the ERG, and then the Y, which is the 0 point. The JC urgent C, or whispering bench, to the T at the Y, or the whispering bench of gratitude. The icing is the inner child-ing on the cake, the energy key, the inner childing energy key to see the gift in everyday things, transitioning to the gold, the ancient one, go alls, right? The goal is to transition to the ancient one, go alls. The 7 at 708 is the boomerang energy, that pi energy, and then the 8 of the dance with the 0 between, space between. The underlying energy of the 23 King of Wands and the courthouse with the hermit number 9 and the change of address or vehicle or status, as the 15 lovers 2023 and September 15th as Virgo and Capricorn, and the 42 of the 2 of Cups are 1-to-1 with tilted direction of north and south, which capital N for me is the Christ and S is Sophia, the Christ and the Sophia and the whispering bench and the sine wave, the 36 of Atlas and the 6 of Wands with the cross to bear, with 39 Knight of Cups community, the calm unity from 36 to 39, and the Empress or abundant marriage and romantic journey of going within and not leaving, not walking away. The 29 of imprisonment and Ben, and I just posted the song Ben before I wrote this, I think. But Ben was coming up as the mouse. The card is literally someone in prison with a mouse at the jail there, at the bars. And so, of course, Michael Jackson wrote the song Ben. That came up as well. So the 29 imprisonment and Ben, a gift. The 10 of the Page of Pentacles, destined to discern and learn. He, the curious child, as the buck climbs the mountain, and she'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. He must keep trying, right? The mountain must keep trying to stretch until she forgives him. Imprisoned until he does at 7:15. So you see how 15 keeps coming up now. Libra and Pisces, or destined divine feminine, divine masculine dance. The masked tango here, the dance of the masculine and feminine, the 8, and the 3 keys of 37. And instead of the Vesica Pisces of the 2 pies coming together, it's the pod coming together with the key. Okay, so it's doubling that, the 2 pods. So it's Vesica Pisces on top of each other, 2 of them. As the 2 Qs, the twin Q and pi, which is the 2 circles together, then stack up like the totem and become the 2 8s that fall over into the infinity symbol. The 8 and the 37, the 837 then mushed together came up. as those two sets of Vesica Pisces, along with the boomerang energy. The 19-4 and the 18 of the sun and the moon, and the lambda leap in the middle, the institution, the home, and the romantic little girl. At the 4, or perhaps, is that at 4 or high noon? With 18 and 12, the romantic pup of the 10 of Cups, happy family, and Pisces, Cancer, perhaps wise birds, of the 7 of Pentacles, reaping rewards, or the divine feminine, and her heart. In the tower, the E-tower, the 16 of Scorpio, or the man with sudden thoughts of her, and the 34 and 26 of the King of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. In the energy of abundant exchange of the King of Pentacles with the Page of Wands, cracking codes of their 10 of Pentacles family, business, community, or legacy. The 36 of Atlas and the ship of distant horizons, and of course we're talking about the Eldridge. And actually, when I was on Instagram, an Eldridge person came up on the feed there. The 20 and 25 of the House of Judgment and the Knight of Wands, high honors. This was interesting too. I was definitely getting feelings around this high honors here. And that's when I was getting, I salute you. And that's when I ended up going over to Megan's channel. So the ambassador coming up here, a wake-up call to salute. I salute you. And Megan Rose, always and again, like I told you, she was describing on that video I ended up watching that Valnick doesn't like most of the stuff she watches on TV. He doesn't understand why humans are interested in that, but he did like Top Gun. So it's very interesting too, because Elena Danaan says that she's no longer connected to Valnick, but you have to go by your own feelings about this kind of thing. Because remember, there is no one perspective, and there are multiple dimensions, right? They may not be dealing in the same dimension at the same time. So go by your own knowing, all right? Don't follow other people's judgment calls. Take it in, but then feel into what your knowing is to see what the difference is. It doesn't mean they're wrong or you're right. It just means you may actually be on two different timelines at that moment. So there ain't no mountain high enough was coming up there, as the 41 of the Ace of Cups and well wishes and the Holy Grail, right? The Holy Grail is the hole, that 0 point field with the tunneling effect of the Grail, the God's rail. And then I was listening to Megan at 808, Lionsgate, so there's confirmation there again that I was supposed to do that. The cosmic egg, the bee, the spider, and the lion, awakening on the ground side by side as the bee hovers in the grid. The dense body, but angel wings here. The bee and the lion book ends. Okay, so here are the lion and the book ends here. And the spider web in the middle. The lion is on the ground, the bee hovers here, and the spider is in the rainbow web. The crocodile, peacock, and eagle come up here as the crocodile and peacock are watching the lion as the eagle dives in while they're distracted. Right, so this is like getting the crocodile and peacock. And remember the other day it came up as the crocodile is hanging out with the peacock, so no one will suspect them of being a crocodile, right? So they're being distracted by Lionsgate while the eagle is off doing their thing. And that's, you know, eagles represent the U.S., but it's also referencing Ea, and it's also referencing an energy of the twin flames as well. So while the crocodile and peacock are focused on Lionsgate, the eagle can then get in. The crow and the bunny are on the ground as Raven Rock Mountain with an antenna or rabbit ears. The mother to crow, or the moth here is the moth to flame energy, is being drawn to the crow, the raven. And there's one card in the shaman deck that comes up as the raven, peacock, and the eagle's nest all in one bird as a vortex. Okay, so here Raven Rock's coming up again. The moth to the crow or raven, and that bird always comes up as the ravenous show-off on the eagle's nest. The peacock, the eagle, and the raven as one. The pretty peacock here is the cover for the crocodile. I don't know if they know it or not, right? This could be someone innocent It even could be like a masculine energy who's hooked up with the wrong people, like someone of status or someone in the government who's reptilian energy there. So the eagle and the crow or raven energy can do their work, right? People are being distracted by Lionsgate so that they can do their work on Montauk and the Philadelphia experiment energy, which is tomorrow, or it's been this whole week into next week. So the moth to raven receiving a signal, and the lizard to the graceful gazelle as the ants are all circling towards the middle. The moth to the raven signals, and the lizard is sensitive. The lizard is not the same as the crocodile. It's just a sensitive energy to graceful one who's at the door, seemingly unaffected on the Serengeti, or their serenade to get source, leading them all to water into the drain, right, into the tunnel, right? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. But this is, you know, getting them to spiral down the drain, into the tunnel, the wound, the accident, the event. Or is this just getting you to be centered and focused in the now moment without the past and the future? Stay present. At 8:27 is the dance of the 27, again, the Queen's Gambit of the Vesica Pisces. The owl and the eagle divide and conquer. And again, the energy of Thor Han and Valnek with separate missions here. The owl and the eagle, we're coming up with them. So very interesting. So the Page of Pentacles and the Dark Knight come up right here with the Page of Wands as well, to the event, going to the show, or going to see the magician who's not sharing their secrets with them. From the earth and fire to transform and inspire, or death and rebirth, as Scorpio is upright, with Gemini and Virgo upright here. The inequity of the full moon, and I'm getting, even though I'm getting that energy from here too with the Scorpio and the Gemini Virgo gate holders too with the Mercury energy. The inequity of the full moon on August 1st, howling with the lobster up in arms, or Cancer romance of facing their fears, of challenging self to go into lockdown, right? This is like a self-imposed lockdown on purpose, to be present in the moment. The Nine of Swords mode with no sleep. Remember, when you're sleep deprived, it's so easy to just be dazed out in the moment. Or deprivation tanks to see how far you can take it, right? People who are going into intense training programs. The Knight of Swords reversed, holding their tongue or lashing out. What is your tipping point before waking or coming out, you know, going back into your old self? What is your tipping point before waking or realization? With Pisces or Capricorn reversed and Leo reversed, on how out of control you are, or they are, when you come together with the Emperor reversed. Emperor reversed is not a good position. And then the King of Swords reversed with Gemini reversed energy, which there's an explosion coming up between these two masculine energies, coming in to see if the magician can maintain their composure during the stress of the full moon to face their fears, staying aware when the energy drops, remembering to drink water, to take a social break of joy before dealing with the Emperor reversed exploding at the King of Swords reversed, X, or Gemini reversed, or Aries reversed and Scorpio upright. Or this could be a bossy Scorpio with Gemini in their chart, perhaps not getting their way and perhaps released, sadly, but free to then roam and be the Knight of Cups, offering love, perhaps to the weakened one who's ignoring them, to get their attention or get them a present, or now they have time to do that, or to get them to be present. To broken Page of Cups reversed, who may be feeling rejected by the High Priestess, who's quiet, or Pisces or Virgo, or both the Page of Cups reversed and the Queen of Swords upright, maybe dumping a load, their burdens or their responsibilities, or confessing, +1 on the Queen of Cups upright here, of mind and heart, and no inspiration between the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups here. Right? So they have positive mind and positive heart, but there's no inspiration. It's missing here. as the Queen of Cups is upright and her back is turned, perhaps to resting or meditation of the Queen of Pentacles reversed, Virgo, or with Hermit's light on them. And then offering the Ace of Pentacles, time, money, and energy, or perhaps a new life, or putting the focus on that big coin that they're offering, the gold coin, that the Knight of Pentacles will then bring to Justice or Libra, an offer they can't refuse, or putting them in a position that they can't walk away from. Talking it up and then presenting it. So again, like advertising, make sure you talk it up first so that you keep their attention when you get them. Or the Hermit is taking the Queen of Pentacles' coin and making it into something else entirely, or turning it around and making it work. Looking at self to see how much they actually have to offer. Someone showing them that. As the Hierophant is with the crocodile and jail time exposed, with Taurus or all boys club here, religion or institution, the Vatican has come up here too. The institution of ownership and slavery. That's something that will chew you up and spit you out. And is that something you want to work in? In a wake-up call to playing both sides of the fence at 8:51, the dance of the King of Swords, and is the pretty peacock with the reptiles or the eagles? And do you like my hat? Again, maybe they keep it really superficial so they don't have to make a choice one way or the other. Perhaps they lay green eggs and ham it up. Or calling all angels here, the wing makers, a wake-up call to the King of Wands, the owl and the peacock, that the chariot's coming in, the raven rock, where the eagles lay eggs. Okay, so something about a ship coming into Raven Rock. It's definitely considered a port for interdimensional craft. So Taurus, Aquarius, and Sagittarius are all upright here, with hospitals and patients, or the Pope with an announcement that raises the dead, or Red Cross relief, where angels fear to tread, the All Boys Club. So I looked up the Pope today, and it was yesterday. Pope Francis warns about AI dangers to be used in a responsible and ethical way. And that was at 8:59. So on MSN, the Republican Representative Anna, which came up earlier, Paulina Luna of Florida came up, has personally seen photo evidence of UFOs from a source in the Department of Defense that is beyond our capabilities, and she's from the Air Force and Iraqi war veteran. And this was a message from 8/8/23 from MSN as well. The crocodile, the peacock, and the mercurial angels. Right? And again, sitting on the fence. Is the crocodile and the peacock the same person and sitting on both sides of the fence? Or is that someone who's linked up with someone who's not good for them, right? Because they're reptilian. But again, this energy of the mercurial energies around this energy in the middle, who has to make a choice. And it's not that they're being neutral. They're literally playing both sides, right? They're not being neutral to both sides. It's different. So they either have to just neutralize their perspectives or choose one or the other, right? The Nine of Pentacles is upright, aligned with Jesus and Thoth, or around the world, Earth and Pisces home, with the Ten of Cups happy family split or divided. The need for the truth or defending it. Standing up to the Queen of Wands reversed in a heated exchange, with the King of Cups reversed in need of peace in a losing battle, with the King of Wands reversed. Now that the worst is over, and leading the way to the King of Pentacles reversed, perhaps with good news that then triggers the King of Pentacles, juggling or daily grind, the performing act, and destined to get schooled or to keep the golden goose in check, while apologizing, while having to stand in the corner or on time out to assess what they've done and what they're worth, and can they retire? Perhaps Constant Gardener is daydreaming again. The wounded warrior knows. When you know, then you know. As the wounded warrior knows, and keeping to themselves, the lovers out in the cold with the Knight of Wands rushing in to come clean or clean up the mess. Of the Page of Swords reversed, perhaps an Aquarius, or the Golden Goose, who needs to fix things up and make amends, with the Two of Cups reversed in disconnect or at a distance, or just not seeing eye to eye. with the three, I was getting universes here, but the three unwise kings here, as opposed to the three wise kings, or the three wise men, the three unwise kings, or three universe kings here, as the King of Cups reversed, emotionally detached or manipulative. Perhaps he's the instigator, or depressed and drinks. As the King of Wands reversed, is always ready to fight with them, perhaps gets off on it. And the King of Pentacles reversed is expecting to be waited on hand and foot, or to be brought only good news, honor to his reputation, with no love, overwhelmed, or triggered and greedy, or broke up. And still dancing to distract the crowds, destined to apologize and or forgive and get back their dignity. As the Empress is upright with the Three of Pentacles workplace, that can be any place of co-creation, school, whatever it is, with a choice to make or an ultimatum to dump emotional attachments to the devil or temptations. A need to scale down and perhaps swear to the children, or swear off buying them everything they want, or after dreams were dashed, or DoorDash, and the Empress and the Devil wave, or Taurus and Capricorn, Six of Cups, are not working out, or deciding to put the Eight of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles together for heaven on earth. Perhaps someone's addicted to overtime, or expected to have Eight Pentacles to invest in the kids' wealthy futures or legacy, right? And that comes up with child support. And is it really fair to make a man who has to pay child support pay for really expensive college when a person without child support doesn't have to put their child through college at all right? So the Empress can't have the Seven of Cups anymore. She must choose one and let the rest go. Say hasta la vista, baby, or saying goodbye to the kids. Perhaps they're leaving for school soon at 9:28 with the Hermit and the Two of Wands, the twin flames. And how they got away with murder was also coming up there too. And that could be a metaphor. It doesn't have to be actual murder. All right, so here is the message on the table. Okay, so the SIRIAN Starseed deck with the Rider-Waite deck clarifying. And this was cut at 10:34 on the 8th. The 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, the 34, the Energetic Exchange, 34 to 35, which is the Wounded Warrior. And I finished clarifying at 10:49 to 50, which is the 9 and 10 of Cups. The single person who's completely emotionally fulfilled and happy with themselves, and the 10 of Cups, which is the family emotional fulfillment. We have the Ascension, the major arcana in the read, the Ascension or the World card, and the Transition, which is the Death card. And prior to the read was the Solar Deity or the Sun. And then after the read was the Strength card. And then also I pulled a couple extra cards because the message was really good. So Indigo, Star, and Alchemy also came out there. Indigo is the Magician, the Star and Alchemy is the Temperance card. We had 2 Cups, 2 Pentacles, 2 Swords, and 3 Wands. So 2-2 and 2-3. So referencing the 22 of the Fool and the 23 of the King of Wands. And the Knight of Swords, the Page of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles, afterward, the Knight of Pentacles came up, and then also the Knight of Cups, which is also upright. As far as the numbers, we had 4 8s altogether. All right, that never happens. There were 2 3s, 2 4s, 2 7s, 2 10s, and 4 8s. Because I pulled those extra cards. That 4th 8 was in the extra cards I happened to pull. So we have the 33 of the Christ Vibration, the 44 of Hercules, the 77 of the Sovereign, and the 4 8s, which is 32, the Journey, right? The 8 of the Strength, the Dance, the Manifestation of Dreams, the 8 of the Twin Flames, the triple 8s, which is the Union to Infinity. It's also the 24 of Enlightenment, and then the 4 8s is 32. I'm getting to the gold, 32. So then 1010 was also here to reminder to keep your vibration high. And also the 2 wheels, big wheels keep on rolling. Again, the 2 pies. So the code line here was all about number 21, which came from 6, 2, 3, and 10. 21 is also the feminine and the masculine, the 2 and the 1. And the energies came up as the mother, perhaps sees earned income credit, or is calibrating, or refining. The Lover's Ice, reflecting creation. The Three of Abundance, the Empress of Gaia, to the Knight of Swords. 3 eggs, or perhaps a pregnant woman who feels burdened or feels the weight of the world. And that brings up the card that I showed you guys that I created. I still have it here. Yeah, this one here. Okay, so the energy of Atlas, and then like the pregnant woman with the weight of the world. Okay. So also is coming up with the mother, the Ma seeing the check, or check. Actually, I am seeing check today. That's funny. But there's a sudden event here. Southeast could be coming up, or just seeing, or some kind of sudden event, or sudden checking something, or keeping yourself in check at 1:51 on the clock right now, which is the Magician and the King of Swords. The Icy Bridge, and 6 to 5, and there's that hexagon to pentagon energy. As I talked about the hexagon in the sky around the winter triangle, and then the 5 of the pentagon. Very interesting. That was coming up along with Raven Rock. The 2 to 3, the 6 to 5 was coming up with the earth, the soil, the trail, the fire break, and again, an underground protection place. Throughout, between the path, the forest, right, the forest through the woods, across to investigate and beyond. 2 to 3 Knight of Swords, or 2 Knight of Swords and 3 eggs, or 3 children perhaps. Maybe someone's having triplets here. And the 10 of Wands of Atlas, the weight of the world, the burden and the responsibilities. Perhaps the month of May comes up here too, or that energy of Mother May I, and seeing or sudden events again of Sophia, to gauge at a distance. So may Sophia in a sudden event, or may she see in a sudden event, to gauge at a distance. Some kind of age. Can she guess the age? Can she guess the refinement of something by her feeling, as opposed to her seeing something, you know, or traditional 3D things. The Lover's Ice expands here on the journey of the 2 Knight of Swords, of abundance, of voice and sound, and Manhattan Sound came up as well. And remember, Journey's 32. As I just said, the year 32 is coming up as something very significant here. Refinement, Lover's Ice, expands on the journey of the 2 Knight of Swords, abundance, voice or sound, fire to be, honey, mother, her, water, and I, his, her, its, and we. What goes around comes around. With Atlas, the burden and the weight of the world. Also, Macy's could be coming up here. And again, the earned income credit, or the one equal congruent to the inner child. The Lovers 8 to 5, or perhaps Ice expanded, as the Empress and the High Priestess and the Knight of Swords coming together when the third eye becomes a burden. Perhaps seeing something you don't want to see, or being expected to see things for others when you're with them. So at 12:01, I started the read, which is the Hanging Man and the One of the Magician. Beneath the 6 of Cups here, with the mini cards on top, was the King of Cups reversed, the 7 of Wands reversed, the Queen of Wands reversed, the Solar Deity reversed, and the 8 of Cups reversed. The King of Cups reversed, which I was just looking at the clock, and it was 1:39:19, which is the Magician, the Knight of Cups, and the Sun. As the King of Cups reversed is defenseless to the Queen of Wands reversed, who may be sick or drained or overexposed. Maybe she's sick and tired or pissed off. Maybe she got burned or is uncomfortable after falling out, or a bad childhood, or the past returning, or dealing with difficult children. Perhaps dissatisfied and in pain, or getting a massage. maybe uncomfortable and not getting their way, and a painful ending with the Empress upright, which could be a pregnant woman, sharing with the Queen of Cups upright in a twist of fate, with Leo reversed and Taurus upright and Libra reversed, the Seven of Wands reversed defenseless or perhaps without an excuse, to the Magician manifesting and aligning with the Queen of Swords, or Gemini or Virgo, or Mercurial at work or Mercury at work. Roses outside the door or replaced by hard work, using DNA evidence to keep chipping away and stand up for justice, with the Queen of Swords upright. Box cutters and the streetcar named Desire, as magic is upright here with the Queen of Swords, that could be a Gemini or Virgo for sure, at 12:30, which is the hanging man in the union or the home, with hard work behind the scenes, and falling out behind the Queen of Swords, where the recent world here is upright. Perhaps someone fell or was thrown to their death, or foolish dark night. And this could be you watching a movie on TV as well. Or foolish dark night, embarrassed to death, or embarrassed by an ending, because that means they lost. With Aries reversed and Scorpio upright. Again, those Plutonian Mars energies of aggression, dropping the ball, act, or pattern as the dark night or Scorpio may be bowling their way through anyone in their path, offering small kindnesses to the one who's ignoring them at home, or to the pillar of the community, and fully exposed justice, or Pisces and Libra, getting to the house. And that could be trying to get to the White House as well. The divine feminine, Pisces, neighbor, or world, complete, whole, or coming full circle. As Aries is reversed and Scorpio upright, to Pisces and Libra both upright here, and the foundation of the Eight of Wands, that back and forth energy, the energy exchange or hours of love, dumping a load of burden or responsibilities and losing patience or temper, the fallen angel, the Emperor reversed at night, or perhaps he lost his cool at the full moon, as Saggy and Aries reversed, but Cancer is upright here, and the central energy is the Two of Pentacles reversed, needing to surrender to all that is, but hasn't yet. Justice of some kind of legal surrender here, of the Page of Cups upright, announcing to the King of Wands reversed, forcing his hand then to come out with the whole truth. Nothing but truth, so help him God. In a sudden outburst, or Scorpio lashing, or blue testimony with an outright lie and or verbal abuse there. Or just trying to hold back and not say anything. Or perhaps home for recess, or perhaps a break on a jury recess, or home coming full circle for a judge or Libra or justice, surrendering or confession to the Page of Cups, or of the Page of Cups, the innocent one, calling out the King of Wands reversed, or Aquarius abusive man, perhaps forced to then tell all of their secrets, or suddenly blurts everything out, or in a tell-all book, or letter, announcement. Perhaps they messed up and challenged by silence, or poor delivery, or lying or verbal abuse, as the Knight of Swords reversed, and the Three Kings reversed, who were not wise, the King of Wands reversed, the King of Cups reversed, and the King of Swords reversed. Perhaps the King of Cups and the King of Swords were released for being in cahoots, or for falsifying testimony or documents, or succumbing to temptation. Out of the mouths of babes, or innocent until proven guilty, now crowning is the Eight of Swords reverse release, after all in the family agreed. After a lot of back and forth between children in a falling out, or the past returning or exhuming, dropping the act in a release, and I was just getting in a hearse or in a releasing, a rehearsing, or tripping up and letting loose on the family and or partner. Again, losing one's balance. The Two of Cups is upright with the Ten of Cups upright, and the Lovers, right? This is beautiful energy all of a sudden. The Two of Cups, Ten of Cups, and Lovers all upright here. A lot of, if not lovers, affection of the family. Coming out of hiding about childhood or a falling out, or the past returning with a vengeance. In a separation for cheating or lying or stealing their sanity. Ghosting, gaslighting, or stealing information or private thoughts, or causing nightmares, bad sleep, until the Knight of Pentacles offers to exhume a body, or raise the dead, awaken, or so sleepless they're levitating, or numb. And soon at 116 of the Magician and the Tower, or sudden events, the Epiphany, is the Three of Cups upright, of coming together in joy, after looking back and being strong, or the King of Swords reversed, not present at Lion's Gate, then coming together in joy to hand out, drained, or perhaps be with crazy kids, or hanging with friends with a need for some sun, to receive inspiration after a lot of exchange with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, community, or legacy of dysfunction or loss, or a lot of discussion about a big purchase or expense or money that went out. Coming up with a plan of attack or conception or concept, growth or being creative, as the twin flames and the Five of Wands in waves of flames. The Hermit is upright, joining forces with the Queen of Pentacles upright, recovering or recovery, as in legal recovery, and letting go a little, spending to fix things up or make up with the Page of Pentacles upright, or an invite or opportunity to the twin flame King of Pentacles reversed to make up with the sovereign energy, the Nine of Pentacles, or the constant gardener, or perhaps retirement and savings are dwindling and now assessing their worth. In a group effort with the Queen of Pentacles is upright, the King of Pentacles reversed, perhaps the Queen of Pentacles is seeking recovery with the Five of Pentacles for her and Four Pentacles for the Page of Pentacles, given a choice by the King of Pentacles reversed with perhaps another person, an independent child, or perhaps a new lover, but they can offer Seven Pentacles, they're saying, or comes off as Nine Pentacles and all that, but they're actually only worth Seven Pentacles, or counting on their new Divine Feminine's savings, or their new woman's savings, or they were counting on somebody else's savings, maybe the person they're leaving. And it's really all of a sudden started downpouring outside. As the Queen of Pentacles is upright and the Page of Pentacles upright are trying to raise funds for the King of Pentacles reversed, maybe offering a new path, if he gains his independence and has enough to retire on or with, coming together here to sort things out. And again, that could definitely be, in a divorce, trying to do some final figuring out of how this is going to work. So at 133, around the twins or how they're seen, is the Transition upright, or the Death card. Perhaps at work or at school, or a secret passion or loss of integrity, perhaps telling secrets in a divorce or breaking contract, overwhelmed or pushed to the limit, and at a standstill, broken, with Scorpio upright, but Pisces, Taurus, and Cancer reversed. A lot of exchange over a death or ending after a falling out, or kids acting up, perhaps a big transition at work or turnover and layoffs, the challenge being the Page of Pentacles upright, who's curious about the details, or perhaps a student or intern. As the Knight of Wands is rushing back to save the day, leaving the Page of Swords sad perhaps, with the Ten of Wands reversed, perhaps a confession, perhaps dumping a load, a burden, or responsibilities, after the Knight of Cups upright offers love under the radar, or to the one with a bad reputation, or one who's needy for attention. The Six of Swords is upright, traveling to peace, no longer playing hardball with the Queen of Wands reversed, who may be healing but uncomfortable and not being able to leave, facing their fears of losing their dreams and dumping emotional attachments to be inspired again. The Four of Cups is upright, wishing on a star, passing downloads to the Divine Masculine in the Batcave, who's coming out through Lion's Gate to the other side, as the Knight of Pentacles upright, proposing to line the steps of the E-Tower with crystals in preparation for the Knight of Cups' proposal to end pain of separation or fear of the storm, an indigo proposal of dreams come true and losing patience, or a dream proposal, and they ain't no angel at 222, which is the guidance counselor show. The King of Cups reversed is defenseless, or attack the Queen of Wands reversed, who then exposes him with uncomfortable emotions of a falling out or a negative past in this exchange or conflict and death or ending, which is now complete, dropping the ball, challenged by the Knight of Swords reversed, coming together with the Page of Pentacles, perhaps, and lying or coming out of hiding to confess their hopes of passing information to the Divine Masculine in the Crystal Cave to get him to come out and be strong. The energy of the timing of fire and birth, and a rebel yell proposing to work or align with the Knight of Cups, or go away together to end the pain and heartache, with indigo proposing dreams come true and just can't wait any longer at 239 of the 2 and the Knight of Cups. Or 3 different knights here. Perhaps one's proposing to align, one's proposing to end the pain, and one is proposing dreams come true and can't wait any longer, and in need of a higher love. As the King of Cups reversed, foolish without excuse, falling for the Queen of Wands reverse, who may be weak or overexposed and uncomfortable dealing with their emotions of the Six of Cups reversed, which can be a falling out with a lover, their childhood, their own children being difficult. In the negative past or difficult kids, coming full circle, or with Pisces upright, the divine feminine, an energetic exchange and trying not to surrender as challenged by the Knight of Swords reversed, holding their tongue and they're not taking action, coming out of hiding to fight, to come together and transition to start fresh with the eyes of a child, like a new student, and no responsibilities. And then with hope that the information will get to them, the divine masks them to come out of the cave and be strong, and then break through the veil as the Knight of Pentacles upright to align with the Knight of Cups, or line the steps and the pain of separation, and indigo dream proposal with no time to waste, the star who fell from the heavens. And there's your message. As that pie flips inside out and upon itself to then cord into the symbol of Pisces. And again, I'm just being guided to show you this again, right? Because we have the infinity symbol here too. Sorry, it's not. Can I do that? Nope, not going to let me. That's all right. All right, I do want to pull a Fortune's Oracle card for you guys. So again, here, I want to show you those last cards because they're significant here. All right, so here's this Knight of Wands on the masculine in the bat cave. We see the crystal bat cave there, okay? And he's coming through the Lion's Gate there, right? Sitting on the fence and no longer sitting on the fence as the Knight of Pentacles. Okay? And there's that energy of lining the steps, and this is the E tower of the Divine Feminine. Lining the steps with crystals. That can be working to align as well or get their ducks in a row. With the Knight of Cups here, right, in the green room, soon. And again, the Ten of Swords of ending the pain or perhaps getting a massage, or the bliss of this reversed. Of ending the pain and separation here, or the storm, as the indigo proposes with that diamond energy or diamond light, this of dreams coming true. And there's that serious energy here of the alchemy card. And this one's reversed, but it's coming up as like that note, there's no time to waste energy, right? That lack of patience that has to happen now. So, and it rarely ends anything like that. So there's some very powerful energies right here. Of Mars and Aries. And Mars and Aries. Remember, Mars still has some difficult energies around it. So send lots of love to Mars. And to the North Node. And still in the Lion's Gate as well. So this, you know, this triple fire energy of the Chariots of Fire. And let's see what comes out now. There's the eagle. So there's the eagle soaring. The Nine of the Hermit, which also came up as the heart of God. And of course, Ea also came up, Ea's glee. And again, the energy of emotional attachments. And Eve and Adam, Adam and Eve. So soaring across, you'll soar towards your destiny with greater clarity and strength. As your dreams come true, and there's 9 of September as well. The 9 of And that represents the Hermit as well as Virgo energy. And then the 17, which is also Aquarius, the Star of Dreams coming true, and all about love here. Love surrounds all of your connections. Move forward positively in all areas of your life. And then the Lovers. And look what's at the bottom of the deck. All right, the Proposal and the Queen's Gambit. There's the Vesica Pisces with the 2 rings. And the Romantic Lovers with the 18. The Stars and the Moon, giving you the Stars and the Moon as the Eagle comes in and soars right through. Wow. And look, the next one is the Plane. I have to show you a couple more. All right, so that itself is amazingly beautiful and reflecting going through, getting off the fence, going through Lion's Gate, right, facing that fire and going through it. And then here we have the energy of the vertical meeting the horizontal again. All right, and the plane taking off. This could be taking off for a vacation as well. The 26 of the Page of Wands, excited. And then there's the reflecting unicorns, the light and the shadow of Mr. and Mrs. Ed, the 33 of the Christ consciousness waiting for you on the bridge as the gate holders. So really beautiful energies there, you guys. I was just getting, this card is the next one, but it's like Jesus, I was just getting Jesus is really proud of you guys. And this is the 12 of the Hanging Man and the Fool, with an open heart taking that leap of faith with their best friend, their loyal friend. So yeah, really beautiful energies there, you guys. Okay, thank you for being here with me as the raining is now wispy and soft. It's 2:11 on the clock. The Divine Feminine, the Higher Self, and just turned to the 12. So again, we have the 11 and 12 tomorrow and the next day are very significant, as it's 156, 57 as we change to the 57 here, which is that 3 of Swords of healing the separation. So remember your water, remember your rest, your sleep, your joy, your nature. Get your feet out there in the grass. Remember to breathe. Remember to be in joy and light. And rise and be love. Love and rise, you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Have an amazing day. I'll see you guys. Breathe, 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 breathe.